Welcome to the new Moon in Aquarius business energy reading. I'm excited to bring you this information today. So let's get started. So we have the new Moon in Aquarius on January 24th. And so this reading is a business energy reading. And it's the energy that you can use with this part of the lunar cycle to go through and really capitalize in your business. Now, this energy will be going from the new moon in Aquarius, January 24th, through to the full moon in Leo on February 9th. So we're just going to go ahead, give the cards a quick shuffle, and start seeing what they have to show us. All right, I'm really excited to see what we have going on here with this new moon in Aquarius coming, the business energy that we have. And I'm going to say, if you don't know me already, my name is Africa. I'm excited to do this for you. I really enjoy helping spiritual entrepreneurs to make a deeper impact and higher profit in their business. And I really believe that when you work with the energies of the cosmos, you're going to do it with so much more ease. It's part of the effervescent magic of flow. So let's get to it here. We've got the Two of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Empress, and the Hanged Man reverse. So the Two of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Empress, and the Hanged Man reverse. So let's kind of look at what we're bringing in to this moment. All right, so like I said, the Two of Wands, what we have first. Hopefully I can get it on going here for you. The Two of Wands. Got a lot going on. It's almost as if coming into this, there's a lot of sun. There's Aries here. It's almost as if there's so much energy as we're charging into this part. And I think a lot of it has to do, this is the beginning of the year. There's still a lot of energy around New Year's resolutions. And so I think that's a lot of where this is coming from. There's certain things you want to have happen. And there's so much going on, so many great ideas. They're kind of like trying to gobble them all up, quite literally. So one of the things I would say is definitely lean into your Mars energy. Find out where that is on your natal chart. If you don't know how to do that, just let me know down in the comments. But lean into that Mars energy as you're starting to not only have the energy, like they're coming from the energy to make these decisions, but to make the right one. To really move with the thing that's going to move your business forward. Let's see what the rest of the story is. Here we got some Leo energy and some Mars energy. Yay! With the Six of Wands. So here with the Six of Wands, again, it's kind of almost what I would call the bow of the ego, which kind of makes sense looking here at the Two of Wands. We got the Two of Wands and Six of Wands. I'm thinking you can see it. It's above my head right now. It's almost like a bow of the ego where we're gonna kind of get stuck and almost have other people just look at us like, yeah, really? Come on now. So don't, you got a lot of energy. You're trying to choose the best things to pursue because there is an order to everything, right? There's a divine order to everything. But don't get too wrapped up in the ego in making those decisions, is what I'm saying here. And you may have already done that. But that's okay because we've got the Empress that's coming out here. So the Empress is, of course, it even shows you on here, represented by Venus. So you're going to have a lot of Taurus energy, a lot of Libra energy in this. Just this whole kind of luxury component, which is what I love about the Empress. And the Empress really helps things come to fruition. So as long as you keep your ego out of it, and you're pursuing things, I won't say that you can't be on two paths simultaneously. It takes up even more energy, and you've got a lot. So as long as you're leaning into your Mars. And the reason I say this, because of what house your Mars is in. What house, even I would say in this case, your Aries is in, depends on what you need to focus on your business. This is why I also offer the Luna Soul integration, because I can really pinpoint exactly where you are and what these things will mean for you individually. Okay, so if you want more on that, just check it out in the comments. Coming back to Empress, as long as all those things are going, you're starting to see things coming into fruition. And hopefully there's a perspective change. So during this time, there's probably a lot, especially if you got your ego in check and you weren't kind of getting in your own way kind of thing. The Hangman came around. Hangman's all about new perspective, especially when it's right side up, right? When it's right side up. But this is the Hangman reverse. And Neptune has all sorts of wild energy, creative, funky energy that happens with it. So the Hanged Man reversed could point to all these things are coming, it's coming to fruition, and you start feeling like you might need to do things a more traditional way. Like your perspective, instead of having a new perspective, you're kind of moving into the same old, same old. So let's see kind of what all this could mean going forward. I think I'm going to go ahead. I had pulled out a couple other decks, but I think we can continue with this one. This feels good right now. So let's see what's coming in this energy. All right. So we've got the Eight of Pentacles reversed. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. So whereas we saw some things coming into fruition as we're heading into this cycle, and again, we're coming to the new moon, we're planting the seeds for new things. And if we kind of we're having success, so let's go back to what's traditionally works in my line of business, instead of doing that new funky thing, which is probably what was going over here with the Two of Wands. We have that shift happen. So let's look at that. So we've got, again, the Eight of Pentacles. It's reversed. You're working hard. You kind of feel like, it might start to feel like you're on the hamster wheel again, right? That it's hard work, and you would like to see some relief from all that hard work. The Eight of Pentacles is going to show that could happen. So let's see how. When I say hard work, it's instead of being in flow, it's almost like you got bamboozled into doing the same old, same old. And if you want to get back into flow, I want to see what can happen. So that things can just start. I love the term ease and flow, but I think it makes people think that everything that you do will be without effort. When you're in the flow, you're still efforting, right? You're still doing the things, but you know the right things to do, and it's not as difficult. Therefore, it is easier. And that's what ease and flow is really about, is things being easier. So I want things to continue to be easier in business, for you to make those decisions, get out of your own way, and see things come into fruition like it has been in the past, and not get sucked back into doing the right thing, because there's always that desire to do the right thing. When that really, for us as spiritual entrepreneurs, is not necessarily the thing, because we're moving from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, which is interesting to talk to about because we're in the Aquarius new moon. So we're talking about, so we're moving through these ages, and so what is traditional, what is the right thing, is not necessarily the thing for us to be doing. All right, so moving on, the sun. So we've got the sun, which I think, just because I'm a Leo, I always think the sun is about Leo. We've got the sun. So here where I was saying, take a look at what's going on in your Mars. Notice you've got the sun kind of represented here and here again. Leo represented both places here. We might see some other crossovers as we move forward. But what I want you to do is look at that Mars. Look where your Leo is. And in fact, I'm going to just stop and say, of course you want to know about your sun sign. And where that is. But look what's going on in your fifth house, right? I look at the fifth house as the house of entrepreneurship, which is traditionally ruled by Leo, but everyone's astrological chart, natal chart is different. So check out what that is. And that's really what this is bringing me, because that's your secret sauce. That is where you shine. And so you want to take that into account as you start to reset your perspective, doing what you need to do. All right, so let's move on to the Ten of Swords. All right, so as we get that, as we look at the 5th house, as we look at where our sun is, lean into that, lean into our Mars, all those good things, like going back to what was really working, we get to overturn the nightmare, right? Traditionally, the 10 of Swords to me is like the nightmare card, like everything going ape shit and crazy. We start to see a little bit, you can see here Aquarius energy, you can see here some energy from Libra, etc., but it's all being overturned because it's kind of coming at it. I want to say it's almost like cross purposes. So the 10 of Swords here I see reverse as a very good sign. If we can get ourselves back together, if we can get back on track with what makes us unique, with what makes us funky, whatever you're doing in your business, that, and if you haven't been doing it in your business, that's the issue. That's how you're going to move with this energy. You have to do what makes you funky and fresh and different because that's you. I mean, like, even like my hair today is a little funky, fresh, different for me. Not exactly, but it's a little. And it's what makes me stand out. Using tarot and astrology with a business and intuitiveness makes me stand out. So do what makes you stand out. And as you're doing that, instead of being kind of caught up in tradition and that kind of traditional kind of cycle, right? And this is about cycles, as one thing is moving and coming in and all these energies coming into play. Just give me a second here as I get through this. All right. As you're moving through that cycle, you don't have to play that game anymore. Right? I'm not saying that you're above the fray or that you're necessarily better than anyone else. It's just that you have a different way. So use that way as you're going through all of this. It is your way and it's perfect and wonderful and yours. Okay? Let's see for outcome as we're moving into Leo. I love how Leo came up here with the sun. And yes, I'm going to keep claiming that. All right, so as we move over, we've got the 4 of Swords reversed. And we've got some more Aquarius energy in here. And I love this. Oh my gosh, is that like kind of like a mermaid-ish kind of thing? I can't really see it. Y'all, I guess I should wear my glasses. All right, so what I really do like about this, is with the 4 of Swords reversed here, coming up into Leo, it is overturning that normal traditional thing. I would also do a little bit, I always think of Aquarius and I think of community. Get into community, right? Whether it's when you're creating, I think I said this before in previous readings, if it's when you're creating or one that you need to join. Get into community. Take a good look. I'm going to go a little bit more on this one in a second. Take a good look at the pick a card reading I did for January. Or if you're watching this not in January, you're watching it in February, take a look at the one I did for February and start to weave this all in, right? All of this plays a part together, and together it all makes sense. So you need that overview for the month. And then you need to look at how these different energies with the lunar cycle come into play. So again, it's upsetting things, but in a right way. You're changing the foundation of how your business works. And that is like the big overall energy I'm seeing here. You're getting the ideas over here at the 2 of Wands. You're making some decisions as to how you can pursue them, or you're going to do 2 paths at once, or you're going to do them sequentially. You're kind of sifting through what will and won't work. As long as you got your ego in check and you get out of your own way, things will come to fruition. And then don't let people throw you off. Don't get tossed with, now I've got to see things with the traditional perspective again, because I've had some success. The reason you had some success is you were doing your own thing. You're doing it your way. I'm a big proponent to doing things your way. And I really do, I believe my clients do a good job of leading them to do things their way. My way is not the only way. The way I run my business and the way I present is not the only way of doing things. And I would never want anyone to do it exactly how I do it, because this was what was downloaded for me. When I'm working with my clients, we look at what has been downloaded for them and how to make that happen, how to walk their own path. Now, there could be things that they can initially borrow from other people's paths. I mean, there's just some technology things that we all typically use. And yes, those things get explained. But it's really about carving out your path, your funky way of doing things. That's what that Neptunian energy brings to us. And then, it's not so much about efforting. It's really about having a more easeful time. It is about being in the flow. It is about shining brightly. It is about your special sauce. You get to avoid the nightmares. You get to create a different foundation, a different way of doing things. And to that end, I almost forgot about this, but I have a business assessment where it really does look at foundational things that typically people have in their business, and I see them most. So if you want to take that assessment, I'll have that down in the details as well. And before we wrap up, I want to invite you to take the poll. I should have a poll somewhere above my head. Or you can reach out to me on social media like Instagram. You can reach out to me on Instagram. Doing a poll to see, as I'm doing these lunar cycle general readings, and this is a general reading, right? I do specific ones in the lunar soul integration. But for these general readings, would you like me to do them by zodiac sign? And if so, there's a little bit more to it, as you probably know, because it's me. But would you like me to do it that way? I'd love to know. So I have a poll up about that, because I kind of got a small hit about that. I was like, let me see what everyone thinks. So, that is what's going on. I hope that you enjoyed this reading and that it resonates with you. So let me know down in the comments. And of course, I want you to subscribe and ring the bells for notifications and give this video a big ol' thumbs up. Your comments, your shares, reaching out to me, and, liking the video, subscribing to the channel. It really helps the channel grow. And I appreciate every single one of you, because I've seen huge growth. It hasn't even been a year. Not of me putting up the channel. The channel's been up for a while. But as I started doing these readings, as I started really bringing different information out there to help you run your business and really grow, to really growth hack that whole process, I've really seen the growth, and that growth is because of you. So thank you so much for that. So with all of that said, peace, joy, love to you.